put contacts in.
And a shirt on. Look at that. Oh, you know what I didn't do? That. Elon's dad had pulled a Woody Allen. Just putting it out there. Yeah. Elon's dad raised his stepdaughter from the age of 4 and then knocked her up. Great fucking family there. Great fucking. The dad is a fucking creep beyond belief, and I mean, in his own right. Tell me that baby was named Grimes. No, the baby is named Elliot Rush Musk. He fucking pulled a Woody Allen. To his credit, at least the piece of shit Elon isn't as much of a piece of shit that he wasn't pissed off about it. According to reports, he went berserk. Yeah. They want to put him in a home, apparently. They want to put him in a home. But, yeah. Elon's dad knocked up his own stepdaughter. Yeah. Amorous, it's terrible optics. Of course it was self-serving, narcissistic position for Elon. Of course it was. That family is fucking brilliant. Dad's a creep beyond belief, and the fucking son is basically trying to launch a company town on Mars. Oh. All I'm saying is the world would be better off without the Musk family in it. So, what do I have over here? I think it's just slightly less musky overall. So in honor of our best friend, friend of the stream, Prime is legendary. Apparently he was on Prime K's spouting his craziness. I'm sorry, facts. I just want to cover this headline. That the this is such a fucking stupid headline. Murcia, Spain. Okay. A family and an LGBT collective in southeast Spain, Murcia, are demanding answers and an apology after a 19-year-old gay woman who visited a gynecologist at a hospital over a menstrual condition was formally diagnosed with homosexuality. The woman went to an appointment at Reina Sofia Hospital in the city of Murcia, and after being examined for this menstrual disruption and pain that she was suffering, she was given a formal piece of paper from the hospital with a doctor's signature on it that included the line, "Current illnesses, homosexuality." To her credit, the woman said, "At first, I thought it was funny, but it just isn't." Right? Like, oh yeah, frameable as fuck. Like, if, dude, I'd frame that shit. That'd be right back there. Right? Fucking, I got a formal diagnosis, bitch. They brought the Design for Bacteria Cure that too. No, for that you have to use Miracle Mineral Solution, Rev. They brought the matter to the attention of the local LGBT collective, apparently a group called Galactico. And that group lodged a formal complaint with Murcia's regional government, the regional health ministry, and the regional health service as a whole. They're seeking an explanation and an apology, adding that the regional authorities had ignored the patient's legal rights, and pointed out that the case was far from an isolated incident. Quote, our association has received countless reports of degrading treatment because of sexual or gender orientation. We find it alarming, unacceptable, and intolerable that there are professionals today who are responsible for our health but ignore the realities of LGBTI people. They use the I, interesting. Regional Health Service could not be reached for comment. But a spokesperson told the Spanish newspaper that was reporting this that it was aware of the incident and that all necessary measures would be taken to properly establish the facts and to proceed accordingly. The initial investigations, added the spokesperson, suggested that maybe a mistake had happened. A mistake appeared to have been made when the patient's details were taken. In any case, they're sure the hospital would be offering an apology to the patient. Hey, Puka. Is the Spanish newspaper going to find out if she's really gay? Do you have the gay? Well, according to the woman herself, she is. So, she's fine with it. Oh, that was some crazy fucking shit that happened today. ¿Eres gay? Not estes gay. Not estes gay. Hey, Real Burner. Hey, Carpe. Oh, it was so weird. It's so weird every time he comes around. Like I said, unless he comes back tomorrow and starts spouting more shit, I'm not going to ban him from the server because he just comes around like every 2 weeks. For those of you who weren't on the server today, I'll catch you up in a second. But like I said, like if he comes around like every month to 2 months and just spouts some crazy Hotep conspiracy shit that I'm not necessarily always aware of. Like what are you pissed about now? Like catch me up on the current anger. And so like I don't want to ban him because it's funny as shit, man. For those of you who weren't there for the shit fuckery, oh, not in my lifetime, Lavender. Not at a macro scale, at least. Micro scale, there's all sorts of examples where it matches my ideals. There's plenty of examples throughout this country of communes, anarchistically organized worker cooperatives, and mutual aid groups, some of which started here, now span the globe, that completely align with my, as you put it, ideals. So on the microcosmic scale, I'm already, like, anarchism has been, it's not like a thing you need to, like, achieve, like, oh, when we bring communism to the land. It's already a thing. It's been a thing with humanity for generations and generations. It's already here. Now, when it would be adopted on a macro scale, that's another matter, but not in my lifetime. Bitch boy, yeah. Next summer, probably. Exactly correct. Well, this wave of evictions actually kicked off some shit. That could get interesting. Yeah, why you posted an amp link, fucking Rev? But just started Handmaid's Tale. Sometimes it max 10 years till the US could be there, at least the South. What you got for me? She bought her dream home, then sovereign citizen changed the locks. New Jersey woman was preyed upon by a fast-growing extremist group that claims its members are sovereign Moors not bound by U.S. laws. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Not only Lambak, but like Hotep Lambak, which is a whole other ball game. See if that works that way. Nope. And she's black. Yeah, like sovereign Moor citizen. That's a whole other ball game. I'll close that one. I don't need that window. That dude's crazy. So, like, what I was talking about earlier is there's this dude, Prime is Legendary, or whatever the fuck he calls himself these days. But on our server, he's now called Lil Nas X, is a based black man. Because fuck him, it's funny. He comes around the server, like, from time to time. He's essentially, I mean, you know, I already said it's some Hotep shit, right? Yeah, he's coming Legendary anyway. He's a black supremacist who believes in the Black Athena and the ISIS papers put forth by Welsing, who advocate that there's a global white homo conspiracy dating back into like antiquity, where white people, primary effeminacy as exhibited by white people is a result of their inferior genetics. And they then force secondary effeminacy on the black, capital B, lowercase w for white, but capital B, black community, and infect them with homosexuality. And so, yeah, it's always interesting when he comes through and spouts off some crazy. And we have a good time poking at him, and he gets all riled up and thinks he's trolling us. And he's like, you got nothing, you little pussy bitch. You pussy bitch. Pussy bitch. You pussy bitch. You got nothing. I fucked your mother. I fucked your mother. Yeah, shit like that. Like, it's literally hilarious. I legitimately think it's fascinating. So, yeah, that's who I was talking about earlier. He comes around, like I said, like once like a month, once every 2 months, somewhere in between there. Yeah, Cupcake, it is some infrared shit, just spun differently. And just drop some crazy. And it's always hilarious when it happens. Because yeah, he thinks he's like getting us riled up, and we just poke at him. We just poke at him and say shit. Like, this time we started accusing him of being a closet case, and I started inviting him, like, hey, you want to come over? I'll fucking show you a good time. Your jaw would break with this dick. I'm like, oh no, I've been with plenty of black dudes. You want to see a video? I've been with plenty of your community. You haven't converted any of my community. Like, you haven't cured a single gay person, but you know what? I've been with plenty of black dudes. I just fucking with him. Just fucking with him. He comes in and spouts just hateful rhetoric and would purge the trans community. Shit like that, right? Like, he's just hate-filled. And, you know, it's like, if you follow the psychology of it, it's sort of logical. It's the Weimar reaction, right? After Germany was put down by all of Europe, what would become Germany was put down by Europe, and it ends up, you know, along comes a charismatic leader in a group that basically says, you know, puts forth this mythos that we are descended from these superior race, and that it is these outside influences, these marginalized, more vulnerable communities than us at the time that are the problem, and if we only purged them, we could return and return to our superiorness, and we could reclaim our self-esteem and our grandeur, right? That's what that's about. Only it's, you know, it's a microcosm of the black community doing it to trans and LGBT as a whole, and Jewish people and women. Because if you get around the black Israelites, it gets real fast. It gets fucking real. Not fans of a lot of people. Luckily, they are in the vast minority. But a lot of that has spiderwebbed its way out into the greater black community. And I've talked about it before. My ex was a black man. Hey, Matko, hope your stream went well. How was your stream? My ex was a black guy who was kicked to the curb because of that shit, right? Like, quoting Dr. Welsing's fucking secondary effeminacy theory. It's the whites that have gotten to you and shit like that, right? And fucking, if you need to find your way back to Jesus, and until you do, you're not welcome in this house, right? And, you know, picking him up from a curb, crying because his own mother turned her back on him and told him he was, you know, condemned, and basically it was bad. Some of the verbiage that she yelled at him that night, I can't repeat as a white guy. Like I'm not allowed to quote it, shall we say? A lot of house stuff. Yeah. So I'm eminently familiar with Dr. Welsing and her the effect that her papers, the ISIS papers, had on the greater black community, especially within a subset of the homosexual black community. And I have absolutely, I bore witness to a black man cheer and shed tears of joy when that woman died. She caused real harm in this world. She broke up real families with her crazy ass conspiracy theories. So while the like insane Prime is legendary fucking Hotep shit is literally a microcosm of the greater community, a lot of their ideas piggyback on that sort of toxic masculinity that is problematic in a whole host of cultures. So yeah, I've seen it up close, and I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate it just because the white boy can't talk about this shit. Yeah, you know what? People I care about and people who I have deep feelings for were greatly injured and hurt by these ideas. So, yeah, fuck that. I speak up. Worst reputational damage for the goddess ISIS's reputation. Welsing or ISIS? I mean, ISIS got the press, Marcus. ISIS got the press. So ISIS did more reputational damage. But in my mind, I gotta tell you, look, nobody I know has ever been affected by ISIS. Like, other than like some, like, we have to take our shoes off at the airport shit, right? Like, nobody I know has been personally affected by ISIS. I've known people who were personally affected by Welsing. So, personal biases. Over here in my job, a notable number of church ladies who are really perplexed at the gays are running the choir. Can't imagine why. Yeah, it's an issue that I don't tolerate. But I have it on good authority that I'm not allowed to talk about these topics because as a white gay man, I am an intrinsic liar and part of this conspiracy. So I understand that. Just understand that everything I say has to be marked with an asterisk because, again, I am a part of the Illuminati. I am Freemasonry. I am a CIA agent. I am part of a conspiracy that dates back into prehistory. Yeah. So just, know all that. We all know where you keep the gay agenda. Ash, how'd you get so many jobs? You gotta get the right connections, right? It all starts with the Freemasons. They hook you up with the Illuminati, and then the Illuminati hooks you up with like the CIA, and the CIA hooks you up with like Soros and that sort of thing. But once you're in with the CIA, once you're in with the Freemasons, they'll connect you with the Illuminati, and the Illuminati basically is running the gay agenda anyway. The gay agenda is running the Illuminati. Sorry, I had that backwards because the Illuminati is a Bavarian, pro-science, anti-theology, anti-state, secret society. That like 1600s, right? The gay agenda goes back into prehistory. We caused the fall of Sodom and Gomorrah after all, right? Like we're biblical in era. So just understand that the CIA, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the global elites, they are all beholden to the gay agenda. The LGBT gay agenda is essentially the driving force in neo-Marxism, color revolutions around the globe, toppling dictators, fomenting revolutions, undermining currency markets. The Rothschilds, that was us. Fucking Baron de Rothschild was a closet case. He was on team though. So yeah, just know all this. This is just fact. And if you need any verification for this, you can just talk to Prime is Legendary. and he will confirm it for you. Marx was really rocking that bear beard. Yes. The Illuminati are basically an intern placement program for various eternal conspiracies. Don't forget Atlantis. Look, Atlantis had to go. All right? They know what they did. They know what they did. They started having sex with women. It's the only fucking rule. It's the only fucking rule we put forward for them. Look, you can have all of the super advanced technology and the magic that comes with being a gay person, right? But you can't have heterosexual sex, right? Like, that's the deal, right? It's just like Scott Pilgrim, right? You can get the magic vegan powers. You can get the magic queer powers, but you can't have the pussy, all right? This is the deal. You gotta stick with the dick. They strayed, so we destroyed their society. It was only fair. It was only fair. It's only fair. Some sense cries and bisexual. I didn't know you were bi. Some sense. I at this point, it's like this. It's like this shit, right? I'm just gonna lean into it. What's the other option? What's the other option? Right? There's people out there who literally mean my community harm because they've bought into a conspiracy theory because they were so disempowered and disenfranchised by a greater systemic force that they have found a way to bootstrap their self-esteem to the minimalization and the further marginalization of even greater even more vulnerable communities than they were. Right? Like, this is literally Nazi shit. So, what's the option? You gonna fucking have that conversation? No. All they do is scream and cry and fucking pout. They fucking put their fingers in their ears and they fucking just yell, "Pussy boy, bitch, I fucked your mom" at you. I can tell you this for a fact because I just had this conversation earlier today. And there are people in this chat right now who bore witness to it. There's no having a logical conversation with that individual. So why try? At the end of the day, I'm just going to lean into it. Yeah, you know what? I am the all-powerful queer. Fear me. Yeah, exactly, Beast. Yep, Reb witnessed it, Caboose witnessed it. What's going to do, argue with real facts and history? They threw that away years ago, all right? Can we go by Mormon rules and have anal oral sex with women and still keep our magic powers? Nope, Caboose. It's out. Treasure Man's I'm scared. They lost. Puka, I don't fear you. Probably because you are one of us, Puka. Yeah, it's super disappointing. But like I said, once you get over the disappointment that there's people out there, right? Like, this is, you want some real shit? You want some real shit? I said this fucking, and Cat backed me up with this. Like, this is the reason we fight against this level of bigotry. All right? You want to know why? Because here's a very real possible future for this person. Okay, this is a possible scenario. Okay? This dude has a son. That son turns out to be gay. This dude will beat the ever-loving fuck out of that kid, trying to fix him. That child will either be kicked out of that home or flee that home. If there is not a support system there to catch that child, what will happen is he will end up on the street. He will end up being taken advantage of by a predator. He could reasonably, his only asset at that point is going to be turning tricks. He will catch HIV. He will develop a drug habit to cope. And if he doesn't die on the streets of a potentially preventable illness or overdose, he will one day manage to pull himself out of it, and he will then despise and resent his father until the day he dies for what he put him through. That is a very real scenario that can happen. And it's not even an off chance possibility. That's like 25% chance. If he has a son and he turns out gay, yeah, shit gets real fucking fast. That's what we're fighting for. That's what we're fighting against. is the fact that this psycho motherfucker would see his own child as a race traitor and corrupted by some insane conspiracy theory that he has infected his psyche and would do that child harm as a result. It freaks me the fuck out when I talk to people like that, and that's what we're fighting against. When I said that shit, I was like, too real? And Kat was like, no, people have to be reminded why we're fighting against this bigotry. I mean, systemic racism exists, but it's rare somebody gets kicked out of their house for being black. Right? Black mom, white dad even, white mom, black dad, black mom, black dad. Nobody's kicking the kid out because they're black. But you know what happens a lot? They kick the kid out because they're trans, or they're bi, or they're gay, or they're lesbian. Happens all the fuck time. And this guy is a fucking problem. And he's out there and he may have kids one day. And I fear for those children's safety. Given how he talks about women too, I fear for the women that he is with, their safety as well. Mr. Biggs, guy who goes by the moniker of Prime is legendary. On my server, you can find him under the moniker Lil Nas X is a based black man, because fuck him, we changed his nickname just to fuck with him. You want to be such a homophobic, transphobic, misogynistic piece of shit, then congratulations, you earned getting fucked with. Amorous, I love that you typed it out specifically. Like, you didn't even tag him, Amorous. You just typed it out. Yeah. He's super terrifying, like, at a base level. That there's people like that. And like I said, like, I've been with people who their family believes this shit. Right? Like, mom and dad buy into this shit. You need to read the ISIS papers. You mean the black supremacist global homo white conspiracy? Oh, great. Oh yeah, Caboose, you didn't see Cupcake proposed it. Cupcake proposed it, and Karina said, I'm gonna leave this up to Kai. And I immediately, as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's a brilliant idea. Fuck this guy. Yeah. I was like, fuck him. As, you know, he's, like I said, that first time in the arena that he told me I needed to read Dr. Welsing, he thought he was talking to some like uneducated white boy, right? That fucking, oh, this white boy lived in the suburbs his whole life. He's never talked to a real black man. He thought he could drop Dr. Welsing on me. Of like, you need to read the brilliant, honorable Dr. Welsing. Homie, I already have. And let's talk about her. Yeah. Then all of a sudden it was, oh, well, I don't care about anything you say about her. You're white. Cool. I get it. My opinion doesn't matter because I'm white. All right. Never mind the fact that she was a hateful cunt. Just a horrid, horrid human being. Like, she's in that Ayn Rand category of just terrible human being. Think the dude would be against interracial marriage? Because my stepbrother is black man and his children are half Hispanic. You know what? There's two ways he could go on that one real quick. Hey, Yogi. There's two ways he could go. Thanks for the fucking News World. Oh, News World isn't here. But thanks for the host, Yogi. I just, yeah. Honestly, I grew up in, well, my views were different. My son was born a girl. He's only 8, but since like 2, me and my wife seen it. It really opened up my eyes. I never hated people for being different, but I didn't care or believe their struggles. Mista, that's growth. That means you're like, you have empathy. It means you're not a sociopath or a psychopath. It means you're not maladjusted. Despite your issues, you may have had biases, you may have had blind spots, but It means you have a good heart. You've got capacity for compassion. You're one of the good ones, man. And props to you for seeing it. And like early on, I'd be like, yeah, that shit's real, man. What are you fucking gonna do? Like, and that's the issue with somebody like Prime is Legendary, or Lil Nas X is a based black man. He doesn't even believe gay people are real. He does not believe there's an intrinsic nature of being gay. He thinks it's a socially learned thing, that culture is making people gay. He truly believes that there aren't actually gay people. That's just it's a thing that the inferior white race has foisted upon the superior black genetics. He believes that. He's literally said that. This is not speculation. He has said it. So, yeah, asshole. Right? Just like, why? I mean, in his instance, like I said, it's literally some Nazi shit. He's building his self-esteem, his self-worth, his value within the system based upon this perceived external threat. And the elimination of that threat will be the rectification, the reclaiming of his self-worth and his self-value. It's the same thing the Nazis did. I'm not fucking losing by Godwin's law here by doing this comparison. It is literally the same psychological thought process that the Nazis used to convince Germans to exterminate Jewish people and just various ethnic minorities, people with disabilities, gay people, take your fucking pick, right? This is literally the same process. And so, yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous, but I mean, I get why. It's just why, man. Now me and the wife try to be the biggest supporters of everyone. Mister, I'd fucking give you the biggest hug. Honestly, I'd give you the biggest hug. Fighting eugenics with eugenics. Yeah, I know, isn't it a motherfucker? Alright. Hey, Fortus. I'm just getting some shit off my chest, fucking after dealing with a hate-filled fucking conspiracy theorist at the end of the day, so that's what it is. I couldn't imagine. Imagine carrying that baggage. Right? Like, that is so much extra weight to carry around with you. Walking down the street and you see some fucking, like, just absolute flaming dude, and you just start mauling, right? Like, you just start mauling at him. His mere existence is an affront to your, like, reality, right? You see a trans person who doesn't quite pass, and you can read, right? And you just lose your shit. To the extent, mind you, that the black male to female trans community is subject to some of the highest levels of rape, assault, and murder of any group that we can talk about. I do believe they may be number one still. Right? Like, this is one of the most vulnerable groups in existence. Where do you think that fucking beating comes from? It's not usually white people doing that shit. That's the truth of the matter. This is the scary statistic that nobody's going to want to talk about with that conversation. Is the black male to female trans community that is most subjected to rape, assault, and murder generally aren't in white suburban neighborhoods. That's an uncomfortable truth, isn't it? Especially coming from me, right? But nobody wants to talk about it. Where do you think they're getting murdered? Oh, fuck you, cat. Hey, Polly. Soften the blow. That doesn't soften the blow. That makes it seem like I'm taking it lightheartedly, Cat. Which is I'm not gonna. That's sad. I also did used to think it's a choice. That's only because I never had to deal with it myself. My child taught me different, though. Funny how I'm supposed to be the one to teach a child, but instead my child taught me the most important lesson in life. My child saved my life. Mister. Yeah, I'd give you a big old fucking hug. These deep conversations are great, though. Yeah. How was your Polly? Thanks for the raid. How was your stream? What'd you guys get up to? Mister, this is true. Yeah, no, it's dude, it's nobody wants to fucking talk about that. And it's super uncomfortable to have a white guy talk about it. And I wouldn't even be aware of it if I didn't have the previous partners, especially my ex. If I didn't have them in my life, like I wouldn't be privy to this information. Like I'd just be another sheltered white boy, but luckily I dated a few black dudes in my time, and unfortunately one of them had some serious trauma from his family as a result of this bullshit. And as such, I got educated on it, right? You get exposed to it, your inbuilt biases get challenged, you fucking learn some shit, and you move forward, and hopefully you grow as a human being, so when you encounter this bullshit in the wild, you can refute it. Hey, boy meets Minnie. Jesus Christ, silly serious. Hey, silly. Thank you for the raid. Oh man. I'm glad I didn't do that fucking, yeah, that would have been, yeah, that's, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's, I don't know, raid number 4 or something like that. Admittedly, yours is the largest so far. How was your stream, silly? What did you guys get up to? Everything in life is timing. I know, right? We were just having a very uncomfortable conversation on the back of a conversation, that happened on the Discord server today. So were we. Well, there we go. Uncomfortable conversations abound tonight. Love it. We learned about Tony Blair and Colonel Gaddafi. We were just talking about Muammar last night, actually. Yeah, like we were literally just talking about Muammar last night. So good on you guys. It was part of the familial abuse, but a lot of it basically trans panic shit because they hit on trans women or maybe hired one as a sex worker. Yeah, Marcus. Yeah. No, it's generally it's some of that inbuilt toxic masculinity within the greater culture of the community. And I mean, you find it in other communities, but it is first name basis. Nice. Yeah. Right. Like, I mean, what's he going to do? Bomb me? I think I'm safe to go on a first name basis with Muammar at this point. Right. I think I'm good. Muammar Gaddafi. If you've never seen the Jim Brewer bit about Muammar Gaddafi, it is one of the funniest, crazy fucking things that has ever been done by anybody in history. It's legitimately worth listening to. There's some very unhealthy masculinism in a lot of minority populations. You see it in France amongst the black and white African minorities. It's likely that hardened conditions of living are conductive to a culture of strength, among other factors. Rev, he's not dead. I just had to check. He's not dead. Either way, yeah, thanks for the follows, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, like, okay, so, like, if you guys really want to know what we were talking about, basically there's this dude, Rip Joe Rogan, there's this dude that comes around our community from time to time, and he's basically a black supremacist who has a bee in his bonnet about the LGBT community based on the ISIS papers, which is a series of collective works of a physician by the name of Dr. Welsing. May she be rotting in hell as we speak. That puts forth basically a global homo white supremacy conspiracy in which there are two forms of homosexuality: primary effeminacy and secondary effeminacy. Primary effeminacy is what the whites, lowercase w, are inflicted with due to their inferior genetics, self-selecting for removal from the genome, from the gene pool. And then there is secondary effeminacy that is inflicted upon the blacks, uppercase B, black community, by the global white homosexual conspiracy. It's super toxic. It's crazy as fuck. It ties into a whole bunch of other conspiracies as well. And I used to date a guy who got kicked out of his house because of it. So I'm kind of, you know, it bothers me when people bring her up. And the first time he came into our community and he dropped, you need to read the brilliant, enlightened Dr. Welsing. He thought he could drop that on me without me knowing who she was. Homie. Yeah. My ex-partner fucking, he cheered when she died. Yeah. So, yeah. She also advocates for like Black Athena type stuff. It very much the sort of forgotten tribes sort of conspiracy territory as well. It's pretty rough. And you know, I feel like I'm using him. I told this story a couple of times and I just told it, but since there's so many new people, like I literally like had to pick my ex off of the fucking street corner because his mother kicked him out. And he like literally like I have had tears and snot on me from a grown man who had his family turn his back on him while quoting Dr. Welsing at him. You want to bring Dr. Welsing into my house? You want to fucking quote her at me? Homie, I already know who the fuck she is. My experience, you got to spam Egyptians or Levantine at those folks until they leave. A bit toxic, I know. It's a rough conversation to have, right? And the whole time he's yelling at me like, "Ha, I knew you weren't an ally." It's like, dude, you're talking about purging trans people and shit. You're not an ally, right? Allyship is a two-way street. I'm more than happy to combat racism. I'm more than happy to stand by marginalized communities and people of color. I'm more than happy. I'm a fucking anarchist. Are you kidding me? You think I haven't been? I've done my fair share. All right? Just trust me. But if you're going to fucking tell me that my entire existence is a conspiracy dating back to pre-antiquity to undermine your people, and that I am a toxic element within society, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, black trans people, no less. Like it's like fuck you, man. Fuck you. I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about your cause at this point. You are doing harm to your own causes at that point. And it's sad. It's sad. It's fucking sad. You'd heard of the Akaban conspiracy, but not the homosexual stuff? Hey, Motku. Yeah, have a good night. I understand after a stream. Sleep well, man. Thanks for the raid. Yeah, it's I explained it. I've already explained the psychology behind it. If you want to see the psychology at work on a grander scale, look at the Weimar Republic leading into Nazi Germany. Disempower and disenfranchise a people. Put your boot heel on them. And then have someone charismatic come along and tell them that there's this mythos, this storied lineage that harkens back to a pre-time where they had elements of grandeur to themselves and their society, and then blame a marginalized group that is more vulnerable than them themselves. Sound familiar? Yeah. It's the same thing he's doing, only, playbook straight out of fucking National Socialist playbook. Seen a video not too long ago. It's just sad. I grew up in an area like that. Young boy slapped and ridiculed on Instagram Live for being gay, sparking outrage of child abuse. 10 years old from Atlanta, Georgia. Yep, I did my tour of duty in the Deep South. I lived in Tennessee. Now we're gonna show him that you get you getting your ass beat, says the woman. The young man, reportedly named Tyler from Atlanta, stands with his arms crossed over his chest, the side of his head shaved with the word gay. At least 4 people stand around him with 2 men in frame of the video. A man wearing a white shirt has his hand wrapped around the back of Tyler's neck. 2 people in the video have been allegedly identified as the boy's relatives. You say you're what? One of the men asked Tyler, and Tyler says nothing. Which the mom tells him to repeat, and he liked this shit, a woman says in the background. Tyler continues to stand in a protected position and looks visibly upset. You're still doing gay shit, the man says. You think this is on your side of your head for no reason? The man proceeds to hit Tyler's head and later pushes him, causing Tyler to almost fall backwards. A woman in the background says, you like this type of stuff, after which the man punches Tyler in the arm. People online are rightfully angry and heartbroken over the video. Yeah. Yep. Country nationalism does this too. I mean, yeah, it's a fairly common tactic and phenomenon, and you can see it in macro and micro examples throughout multiple societies, cultures, and history. Just look at our election results in Germany. Good seed for a new Weimar. I feel weird because I'm not allowed to talk about this stuff. You know that, right? Right? I'm a scrawny white boy, right? I'm a gay white boy. I'm not allowed to talk about these sorts of things, but it's because I have, you know, a couple of black exes and somebody who I spent a lot of time with. That, yeah, I saw this shit up close. There's a strain of toxic masculinity, homophobia, and transphobia woven into the fabric of the black community at present, and it piggybacks on self-empowerment and reclaiming of self-esteem via a variety of conspiracy theories. It's super fucking toxic. Sadly, thing is, it wasn't even a bad outcome from a situation between family or neighborhoods. Fucking A. How is nationalism the bad guy? Oh, that's fucking cringe as shit. Give me a curtsy. Look, you want to talk patriotism? Fine. I'll fucking bite that bullet. You can have your fucking patriotism. I don't give a shit. You can keep your fucking patriotism, but nationalism? Dude, come on. Nationalists have been responsible for so many fucking problems historically and contemporarily. Like, if you can't adopt a lens of analysis that shows you the problem with nationalism, then I don't know. I mean, it's even in your own fucking statement. Nationalism is about us all having our land in common. One people, no boundaries. Sounds like you're setting up a lot of fucking boundaries there. Oh, nuclear. I'm a fucking... Dude, I'm already an anarchist. Like, dude, the nation's... It's a fucking globe. It's a globe. Like, right? Like, that's... Who actually said that shit, by the way? Okay. We don't know what any of this is. We still haven't figured it out. Just admit. If you're an adult in here, you have to admit we don't know shit. We built some really interesting fancy baubles around ourselves, but we actually don't know the nature of reality still. We don't know shit. We're sitting on a biological spaceship hurtling through the cosmos, spinning around a giant nuclear explosion in it just hung in the ether of what we're not entirely sure still, right? Yeah, let's draw some artificial lines on the ground and then kill each other over it. That sounds like a great pastime. Sure. Why not? Yeah, Carpe, we don't even know what we don't know at this point. My line is better. Have you considered ex-nationalist is supreme genetically to the rest of the inferior species? Haven't you seen the IQ comparisons? Yes, there's never been a problem with IQs. Generally critical of nationalism, but nationalism can be a source of good. Yes, so can nuclear power, but we also built a bomb out of it. We have to remember, you know, every human technology is a double-edged sword. Nationalism, on the other hand, yeah. Let's step back. What the fuck even is a nation? Sus as fuck. Nuclear, solar powered. You call me? Oh wait, nuclear, not nuclear, solar. I mean, we can conduct. We can look at the encyclopedia, the International Encyclopedia of Political Science, for an actual definition, like a true technical definition, if y'all want. Give me a sec. Save as. Put this on the desktop really quickly. Have to pull it from the server. Ooh, did that just... Oh, interesting. That does that now. All right, MN. We can even do nationalism while we're at it. And oh no, it's gonna be a paragraph, probably, because it is a political science definition. See, and even like if we're talking about nationalism, see the internet. If most people have never even seen the International Encyclopedia of Political Science because it costs thousands of dollars. I'm not kidding you. But it is the literal definitive source that like regional governments and federal governments use for. It's like Black's Law. Whether you already have access. Yeah, it's like Black's Law for political science. Yeah, nuclear I do. So like it's like that. It's one of those texts that most people never even. A boy meets many. I agree. I believe human knowledge belongs to the world. It's the International Encyclopedia of Political Science, Exol. So let's start with nationalism, just for shits and giggles. Right? This is what they literally cop to right out of the gate. Nationalism is one of the most difficult contested concepts in social sciences. There are fundamental disagreements on its definition, origins, historical location, and normative status. This entry examines the concept of nationalism and explores these disagreements on how it should be understood. Definition. All right, so they front load it right out of the gate. Look, this is gonna be a conversation no matter who you have it with, right? Like that's political scientists understand this sort of thing, right? So definition. In a very general sense, nationalism implies a strong attachment to the nation as a human collective. In the social sciences, however, it tends to be defined more strictly as the belief that the nation should form the basis for political order. At one time, it was common to define it as a movement in search of its own state, or to extend the reach or power of an existing state. In recent years, it has been recognized that nationalists may pursue other forms of polity, including that of their own decentralized or federal region. Attention has also extended from nationalism seeking to change the political order to nationalism as an everyday mechanism for sustaining the existing political order of a nation-state, as in Michael Billings' banal nationalism. This still leaves the question of how the nation itself is defined. For some, the nation is a politicized ethnicity, but this merely begs the equally difficult question of what an ethnic group then is. Besides, whatever definition of ethnic group we use, many of them are not organized as nations, nor would their members recognize them as such. There appears to be no one single characteristic that would qualify a group as a nation. Be it cultural, institutions, territory, or history. In many cases, indeed, the idea that a particular group is a nation is contested. There are various ways out of this conundrum. One is to divide nationalisms into different types qualified with prefixes or adjectives, but this risks losing the central concept altogether at that point. A second is to treat the nation as bearing resemblance to a family, rather than one with a single core meaning. This allows us to cope with the complexity and variety of nationalisms and to compare aspects of each, rather than forcing them into the same mold. A third way is to see the nation as a subjective category, so that if people feel they are a nation, then they are. A fourth is to treat nationhood as a claim, made both as to the existence of a group and to a set of rights that pertain to nationality, rather than a sociological category. These central definitional problems have made it impossible to arrive at a general theory of nationalism applicable in all contexts and at all times. Most literature, therefore, looks at particular nationalisms or tries to generalize from specific cases with decidedly mixed results. Some sense, this is literally, like I said, this is the high text of political science. This is a document that not many people get access to. Nuclear, I'm with you. Nuclear, I'm actually with you. I'm with removal of the nation state. It fails to clear ethical hurdles, and it doesn't clear the justification that anarchists would put forth for it to merit it maintaining its existence. Therefore, I'm for either the dismantling, removal, or replacement thereof. But yeah. And that's, by the way, that then goes into 6 pages of the origins of the concept of nationalism. And then it goes into nationalistic doctrine. It goes into how you classify nationalisms, the ethics of nationalism, and all of this is followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 further readings that are recommended if you want to further your understanding of the concept of nationalism and nations as a whole. Rev, it is a compendium of works by peer-reviewed, credentialed scholars, and it is the International Encyclopedia of Political Science is like it's like Black's Law for poli-sci. That's the best way to describe it. If you're going to practice law, you need to have a copy of Black's Law, right? Like, it's necessary. If you're going to talk about politics, if you're going to understand political science, you need to have the International Encyclopedia of Political Science. It's just a required text. Eclectic. I respect that position. I respect that position. That would be my position as well. No mask. Errol had a child with his stepdaughter, who he raised from the age of 4. Yeah. Even Elon came out and denounced him because it was bad optics. Yeah. The 10-month-old son is named Elliot Rush Musk. Some sense. That's exactly what I said when I found out. I'm like, he pulled a Woody Allen. He pulled a fucking Woody Allen. It's brilliant. Sad. It's bad optics. That's all. That's why Elon cares. Elon doesn't give a shit. But yeah, he is reported, like, for those, and they reported it, that he went berserk. It's the quote. How's the new parent? The new parent, Errol, isn't even living with the stepdaughter. He apparently lives somewhere else. So, like, the kid's 10 months old, so 19 months ago, so a year and a half-ish, right? He basically banged his stepdaughter. Who he, by the way, raised from age of 4. Yeah, they are. They're talking about putting him in a home. They're talking about putting him in a home. Are we talking about Woody Allen? Yeah, exactly, Raphael. No, we're talking about Elon Musk's dad. Errol Musk. Yep. Raised his own stepdaughter and banged her. By all means, nuclear. Yes. You know, South African gem mine, apartheid. He didn't get up to anything, I'm sure. Jay Miles, you've been coming in with fucking... I love it. I love it, Jay. So we got global capitalism, right? But no global state. So did Ancapistan win while no one looked? No. No, they didn't. Because if you talk to neo-feudalists... Yeah, that's nuclear. If you actually talk to neo-feudalists... this is far from their vision. This is far from their vision. No, what we ended up with is neoliberal hypercapitalism. Carpe, they're batshit insane, Carpe. It's fucking wacky talking to them. It's fucking wacky. But yeah. No, we ended up with neoliberal hypercapitalism, which is far from what they advocate for. Hey, Gemma. I'm sober. I mean, it's, you know, sober is, well, it depends how we define sober. I'm on some high test injectables. That's for injectable, right? Prescribed, bitches. Yes, exactly. That's obviously not true capitalism. They always go no true Scotsman on them. Sober as a judge? No, I'm not drunk. Yeah, stepfather was a judge. I know what judges get up to. I've literally been behind the bench. I've been in the back of the courthouse. I've hung out with fucking judges, right? They are the quintessential three Scott lunch types, right? They're fucking a few tumblers of scotch, you know, to loosen you up. It's good for your digestion. It gets my doctor said I should have a few drinks every day for my blood pressure. Oh yeah, they're all like that. Is it judges specifically or just lawyers in general? The judges get away with it, Exol. The lawyers, they can't get away with it as easy as the judges get away with it. Best thing I'm getting from Marx's Das Kapital, Volume 1 is that it's a history lesson, a window into how fucked up the Industrial Revolution was and for labor and what capitalists would take us back to on our way back to slavery. Yeah, Carpe, it's such a slog. That book is fucking huge. But no, I think all of Marx's solutions are bullshit. I think his analysis and his critiques are basically 100% accurate, right? Like, I got nothing against Marx as an analyst, and as a person who sat back and made extraordinarily prescient critiques of capitalism. I have issues with the centralizing authoritarian communism that he would help instate. Yeah. Yeah. If capitalism just wins, what becomes the capitalist post-capitalism? Is it this? Does this make sense? Nuclear, we have a member of our community, Irish Swede, who is dual economist and finance major, who's already going back for another degree. This time it's a PhD in econ, I think, I forget what his specialization is going to be. And he straight up says, we need a new ism. He said, it's out there. These are his words. He said, it's out there somewhere right now. It just hasn't been embraced at a macro scale. So whatever the next thing is, he believes in his highly educated experience and well compensated for that education, I might point out. The market has made its decision about him as well. That there needs to be a new ism, and there's going to be something after capitalism. There was something after feudalism. There was something after, after feudalism was constitutional monarchism territory, right? We've had a few isms. It's time for a new ism. Whatever it is going to be, though, his name is Irish Swede Nuclear. You can catch him. He's in bed right now because he's got a real life and a real fucking job and a real fucking family. Like he's a proper grown up. Right? Like, he's a proper grown-up. But yes, he's a highly valued member of the community, and, yeah, I was just hanging out with him a couple of days ago. He was here in Vegas for a finance conference. And, yeah, and I agree. And, by the way, he is an anarchist. Despite everything, he actually in his experience, he stopped being. He was trained in, if you speak economics, all right, he was trained freshwater, and partway through schooling, he realized that, holy shit, this is all bullshit, and the facade fell away, and he became an Ansin while being trained in finance and economics. Well, Nuclear, the exchange of goods and services is not capitalism. Right? Like, this is like, I think it's a hard pill for people on the left to swallow, that they're used to capitalism and capitalists as the enemy. They are. But capitalism isn't about the exchange of goods and services. It's about the privatization of the means of production, right? You can have market socialism. You can have open or closed market socialism. There's a variety of systems out there, all of which allow for transfer of resources, creation of products, selection of services, distribution of these, some more effectively than neoliberal capitalism. But that's not what makes capitalism capitalism, right? The shining reason, the halcyon, not halcyon, the reason on the hill, the defining core characteristic that makes capitalism capitalism is about the privatization of the means of production. We could change that. Just saying. I mean, if new ism takes over, it will eventually destroy capitalists, no, or similar sections of the class. Depends how well they entrench themselves. I mean, you can see a potential example. Amras. You could see a potential example of this at work with like Shell and ExxonMobil and shit like that, BP, heavily investing in green technologies. Right, you bootstrap your ill-gotten gains that were basically raped and pillaged from the people and the planet, and then you use those ill-gotten gains to secure your future in a direction that the market is going to take, even though it demotes you within it, or demotes your primary, what used to be your primary revenue source. Right, this is how legacy wealth is created. So, like, it's entirely plausible that they entrench themselves so effectively that we don't quite shake them off. Don't know. What the fuck this is, though? I don't like it. Zugi, thank you for the follow. D's nuttism. By the way, I assume whenever we reference the state, we're just referring to an entity with a monopoly on violence, right? Exol, I mean, for the most part. That's your simplest definition. Yeah. No, I want contents, not... Oh, and just as a yeah, without being long, yeah, Exol, for the most part. That's what most people mean. That's what most people mean. Now, if you talk to a political science nerd or an actual political scientist, that's not at all what they mean. But yeah, and just FYI, I just have to share this. The encyclopedia, the International Encyclopedia of Political Science is 3,996 pages in size. Just yeah. If you're wondering if it's a small text or not, it's not. It's updated every year. Cupcake. It's updated regularly. And about 50 cents per page, it looks like. God damn, it's an expensive text. Yeah, it's extraordinarily expensive. Raphael, I'm going to, I can't, that's almost guaranteed to be not, I can't talk about this, Raphael. Like, I can't, I have to pull that, and I can't talk about this directly. Raphael, you're Dutchman on the server. You've been around a while, right? All right, let me send you a DM here, Raphael. All right, I saw that a bunch of stuff went by. I'll scroll back, don't worry. All right. All right, let me scroll back. Only 900 for the ebook. Yep, lost. Indulge me for a moment. Imagine a post-profit, post-scarcity world. That's easy. The new ruling class creates value by creating scarcity. Well, that's not post-scarcity then, but okay. Keeps people in line with the new religion, capitalism. Dead as a system, reborn as the new church. Okay, Capitalism is about ownership, just as Mark, but then we might want to ask ourselves, is the firm itself hell? And I'm curious about that text. Tech support, what's your fucking username on the server? Oh, okay, sorry, okay. I look forward to the replicators. Elon Musk is an early example of the new clergy. I mean, there's an argument to be made that it's always been that way, right, Nuclear? People, I mean, the king... Elon Musk is just attempting neo-feudalism, and I mean, we're talking about the divine right of kings at the end of the day, right? God has enshrined or imbued his grace into this kingdom and into the power of this throne, right? Like it's not new. Like the concept isn't new. It wouldn't be the first time that somebody took a socioeconomic system and imbued it with religion, right? I'd argue it's not even the first time it's been done with capitalism. Prosperity gospel would be an argument for that. So imagine an economy which puts tons of resources into actively suppressing and destroying most of the productive output. Nuclear, like, I don't need to imagine this. We produce enough food for the world at current rates, right? 47% of food gets wasted, right? We throw billions of dollars worth of consumer goods away within months of them being manufactured because they fail to sell at the profit margin that they expected to do. We let piles of grain rot in stockyards because the international market won't trade at the value that they wanted to trade. We let oil tankers sit off the coast of continents because the oil price has dipped and they refuse to sell the oil at a lesser price. Like I don't have to imagine any of this. This is already the system as it stands. G-Toy, we're close to it. We're close to it, man. Yeah, Rev, this fantastical scenario sounds horrifyingly similar. Again, I don't need to extrapolate that. Like, you're going to a place that we're already at. Right? Like, we're already there, man. We're already there. You're painting a dystopia in which we already occupy. Carpe, I argue that all the time, that we are post-scarcity, that it's a logistics issue. Nobody ever fucking listens when I say it. I'm sure somebody does. My community does, but like you feel me, Carpe, right? Like screaming into the void. Like, how the fuck do these people not realize this? Oh yeah, Chutoy, they'd fucking... Dude, Jesus today would be crucified like a motherfucker. Saw that Jamaican farmers destroyed yields because farmer imports are so cheap. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, Caboose, I know, right? I feel ya. Yeah, it's already a thing that happens. Thanks, Nuclear. All right. Tech support, you're free the hats, aren't you? Just give me a shout out if you are. What's he arguing? I haven't been paying attention to this no mask person. All right. I'm going to send you a DM, Tech. Yeah, but I mean, you know, I enjoy a good round of bullshit. Anti-science, murder, breath, and hate, Kai. Thank you, Crix. Wonderful TLDR, Crix. Wonderful TLDR. One last one. I basically think capital doesn't follow profit anymore, but rather capital flow creates profit. So in a paradoxical way, more and more capital creates profit in the financial world. There's, oh god, I would defer to Swede for the terminology, but there's actually a term. There's an econ term for this. Like it's a thing. Capital creates capital. There's this terminology for this very process that economists and finance majors use. That is a technical term for them. Don't ask me though. I just like, we literally have a square on the bingo cards that we run as a channel called deploying Swede. And this is where I would deploy Swede normally. I'd just be like, Swede, fucking get on the line. Help a brother out. Like, what the fuck is this shit about? Tell me the technical terminology. Thank you. And Diamondback Manhunter, thank you for the follow, by the way. Oh, fucking, those AMP links, by the way, are Google trying to take over the internet. Just FYI. You can basically strip the AMP shit, the Google shit out of it, and it'll still work. K con K? Ki con K. Maybe? Sorry if I just murdered your name, but either way, thank you for the follow. Squiddy. I mean, you're fucking up in like Detroit territory, right, Squid? You've seen this up close and personal. This process at work. Yeah, you've seen this shit up close and personal, what it can do. Quick gonk. Yeah. I was coming at it from Spanish, but that's probably telling me it's more like French or something. French. Yeah. I'm like, I was coming at it from Spanish. So. Oh, tech support. I know. Fertus, it means anyone or anybody. Fertus is our resident French fuck. So thank you on the translation from both. Taoism. Nuclear. Taoism. It's proto-anarchistic. It's about embracing change and the ever-adapting nature of reality. The fact that you cannot ever know the true nature of the Tao. It's about the fact that nothing is separable from the Tao, that everything is the Tao, that you are existence, existence is you, and that there is no need to change that. And it is about a greater acceptance of that and just understanding to go with that flow. The answer is Taoism. Love that. Which is the right religion? Taoism. Which isn't a religion, by the way. It's not. It's not a religion. Which is the right religion? Right? The correct religion isn't a religion at all. You're no ordinary anarchist in a skirt. I like to think so. Our QAnon ran off. Aww. Token Frenchie. Yes. Tokenism. Look at the fucking left doing classic tokenism. Oh, Jesus, Kaiser. Careful with that shit, Kaiser. A religion without the cult is just life theory, which is what Taoism is about. It's an ascribed practice for how to maintain and rein in your politicians. It's about how to live your life. It's about how to view the world. It's a philosophy. It's a lens of analysis. It is literally claimed by anarchists as proto-anarchistic. I remember when I reinvented solipsism. Yeah. I think here, like, let me. Oh, I'm sorry, Ruth. I'm sorry. I just dropped your book, Ruth. Yeah, let me look. The River of Anarchy, Freedom and Equality. Let's see. Let me check. Here's the Middle Ages. Here's Christianity. There's the Greeks. There we go. Forerunners of Anarchism. This is Demanding the Impossible: A History of Anarchism by Peter Marshall. Anarchism is usually considered a recent Western phenomenon, but its roots reach deep into the ancient civilizations of the East. The first clear expression of the anarchist sensibility may be traced back to the Taoists in ancient China from about the 6th century BC. Indeed, the principal Taoist work, the Tao Te Ching, may be considered one of the greatest anarchist classics. History of Anarchism. And one of our favorite channel books, The Activist Tao Te Ching. Oh, nice rumble. Zizek. We have, hang on. We have a Zizek command. There you go.
I hate life.
There you go. Zizek. Your thoughts on Christian anarchism? I'm ex-evangelical. Good on you being the ex. Left my fedora tipping atheist phase a couple years ago. Directionless at the moment. Christian anarchism is okay. Look, there's some good ones. There's legitimately some good ones. Even Saint Francis of Assisi was about hierarchical like religious organization. We're all equal under the eyes of God. There is no need for a middleman, right? And the Catholic Church turned that into the Franciscan order, which is highly hierarchical and super like gatekeepy, right? But there is a lot to be garnered. And hi, my name's Kai. I've been an ordained minister for 18, going on 19 years this year. There is a lot to be garnered from the Jesus mythos. Now, yeah, as Rev is pointing out, Yahweh is a fascist. The rest of that text is super problematic. Up to and including the shit that Jesus had to say about slaves themselves. About that, how they should respect their masters and shit like that. It's fucking ridiculous. But the rest of the Jesus mythos is a useful tale. It's oftentimes enough to spurn people on to conduct levels of mutual aid and self-sacrifice that they would otherwise not conduct. In that regard, I see it as potentially useful. But I would prefer you not to need that text to cause you to do that stuff. I would prefer the anarchism to get you out doing it anyway, without the Jesus stuff. That to me is the issue. Is like, why did the anarchism not get this job done? What was the reason? Whether it's been a while since I read that parable, I'd have to consult it. Fuck it, time to get canceled. I dislike atheism. I'm okay if you don't believe in God, but a godless philosophy like Confucianism or something, atheism too negative. Nuclear. I'm not an atheist. I'm an agnostic. I think atheism is as dumb as Christianity or Islam or fucking Hinduism, or though Hinduism's way more fun, by the way. I think it's all goofy. You are making, hey Joe, you are making declarative statements about the nature of existence and reality and creation, right? Like, you're answering questions that we don't even know the question, right? Like, it's yeah, certainty is delusion. How can you possibly know the answer? You're like, dude, we don't even know what the fuck this is. And you're like, no, I know what this is. I know the dude who made it, and I know his fucking name. Sorry, what? Well, that seems a little, right? Like, and that, then you have the other side of that. Then you have just the flip side. Atheists are still theistic. You know that, right? It's the same spectrum. You have the theists, sorry, for you guys, you have the theists, and then you have the atheists. They're a part of the same theistic spectrum, right? Some of them believe in like 1,000 gods. Some of them believe in no gods. They're still all about the God, right? Then you have the agnostics who sit here and go, I don't fucking know. Do you have any evidence? Like actual testable evidence of any of this? No? Cool. Well, then I'm gonna hang my hat on we don't know shit about shit and just call it a day. Except an egalitarian agnostic. That's a good fucking turn of phrase, Carpe. I respect it. Good on your dad. Requiring God to be supernatural or even real for you to believe is not a useful construct as a philosophical tradition in which you can believe in concepts for their value, for example, without claim of veracity. Which is fine. Look, if you want to, whatever story you want to tell yourself that gets you through the day, do it. Just don't let me catch you persecuting queers for it. Or charging into the Middle East to reclaim Holy Land. Or re-educating indigenous tribes because they believe the wrong thing. Right? If it gets you through your day, look, maybe a fucking, like, hand job from a sex worker and a cigarette gets you through your day. Cool. Whatever. As long as you're not harming anybody, right? As long as you can show me that you're not harming anybody, I'm okay with it. But a lot of that shit's super toxic. I mean, that's a hell of a thing. Will Alexander, that's a new one. That's a new one. Good on you for creating some new work. I like looking at Christian art. Hey, I love these. I love the mosques. I like to say Islamic mosque, and we had this conversation one night due to the etymological origins of the term mosque, that in fact you kind of do need to specify Islamic mosque, especially historical connotation, building temples and cathedrals and mosques on top of each other and that sort of thing. You do actually need to kind of specify Islamic mosque. I love looking at the architecture and the design work, the pattern work, the colors, the grandeur of mosques. They're astounding. They're psychedelic as fuck. I love looking at that stuff. I feel you. Right? Like I can separate the artist from the art. I'm 100% capable of doing that. So, yeah, re-educating. Chutoy, you like that one. I like Asmovian atheism. Basically said he refuses to speculate on the existence or inexistence of God until compelling evidence is brought forward for either. Yes, exactly. Kierkegaard had some cool takes on God. Terrible politics. Good writer. Agnostics are just atheists that are too scared to get whipped by Daddy Satan by claiming they're atheists. Dude, I'm J Miles. I'm down. Dude, fucking, there's going to be some amazing, like, deviant BDSM. See, here's the thing. If hell is customized, it's going to be like vanilla heterosexual, like, missionary position sex for eternity for me then. That would be my idea of a hell. I'll let you know. The only thing that gets me through my day is a BJ and a cig and Bible study all at the same time. This guys are nice. Yeah, nuclear. Like that's we got into this. Yeah, you literally need to specify Islamic mosque. And like I said that one night, and people were like, aren't all mosques Islamic? I'm like, no, they're not. Like, yeah, historically and etymologically, like you need to actually technically specify Islamic mosque. Muslim art is so geometric and beautiful. It is, Sergey. It is. It's honestly, I've shown it on stream before. Here. The Blue Mosque in Turkey is like, I mean, all right, first off, let's just, all right. Right? Let's just like out of the gate. As a building itself, this is an impressive piece of work. All right, and then let's see. Where is the one I'm after? I mean, anybody who's done any amount of psychedelic drugs takes one look at this and goes, yep. And it's always just so amazing and intricate and colorful and just a level of beauty that is... You want a kaleidoscope, Exol? Here you go. Here's a fucking kaleidoscope. I've been to mosques and gurdwaras back home in India. They're so beautiful. They are, boy. Boy meets many. They are. It's a thing of beauty, astounding beauty in many instances. And it's just, there's no, and their appreciation of color and design work is ridiculous. But then there's a whole lot of toxic shit too. Right? Like that's... But I can separate the art from the artist. It is Rumble. It is, in many instances, it is actually fractals. I heard what the smoke of the acacia tree can do to you. What? I don't know what you're talking about, Squid. I have no idea what you're talking about. Hang on, I'm just gonna... Great art is often created by bad people. It is, Sergey. Sergey. It is. It is. If we threw out every piece of work that was created by somebody with a problematic take, we would have basically nothing left. Like, do you understand the foundations of everything rest on some really fucked up people? Some really fucked up people. So you have to develop the skill of separating the art from the artist. You have to. Or else you're just going to be like, we have to cancel them. We have to cancel them. We have to cancel them. It's like, yeah, like a lot of people have shitty opinions and positions, but if they said something right or something brilliant or created something that's necessary, you gonna throw it out? Sorry. I'll take the good idea and leave the trash opinions on the side where they belong. No big deal. Fair enough, Maniac. Fucking Fertus. Speaking of art, can we talk about how Caravaggio was a baller motherfucker? I mean, Caravaggio did some interesting, and isn't Caravaggio the reason we call Carpaccio Carpaccio? Just like that's sort of like weird random factoid that kicked off in my head, I think, for Twos. Isn't Carpaccio named after Caravaggio? Anyway, maybe it's a different artist. Hey Zardos, we were just showing buildings in your part of the world. We had a Turkish mosque on the screen there for a bit. Is death of the author part or the anarchism? Of the anarchism? Nuclear, no. Yeah, Proudhon, Marx, Kropotkin, deeply racist assholes. Proudhon was infamously like super misogynistic too. Like that was Proudhon was like I'm pretty sure he's the one. Was it Bakunin? It's Bakunin or Proudhon. That were I'm pretty sure it was Proudhon though. That was super misogynistic as well. Marx Zuckerberg. From Wikipedia, the dish based on the Piedmont specialty came from Crudo Albese, as invented Giuseppe Cipriani, founder of it. The dish was named after... Okay, it was after Vittore Carpaccio, the Venetian painter. Thank you, Fertus. Thank you, Fertus. I don't know why that... It was just the similar names, I guess. The car part just kicked off in my head. Yeah, that's... Victor Hugo. Rumble. It was Hugo. Victor Hugo's the French author who died and the brothels fucking closed in Paris. Okay, I'm kind of high. Hear me out. Yeah, I can tell. I think Napoleon seized the feudal state and made dictatorship of the capitalists. No, because capitalism wasn't really a thing yet. Your timeline is kind of merged and fucked up and inverted. They're nuclear. Liberalism is their version of communism. Napoleon is Lenin. Yeah, no, I don't dig it. Is he the one that the Hugo Award is named for? Probably. Let me check. But it's likely so, yes. Oh, hey now. Nope, okay. No, it is not. No, it is not. Carpe. No. It's an interesting story. You're gonna actually wanna look up the Wikipedia on the Hugo Award there, Carpe, because it's actually like they picked a name. It's weird. Yeah, fucking who asked? Sergey? Yeah, there's tons actually. Here, I'll pull it up for you. Here's an entire Wikipedia section on anarchism in the arts, right? It's literally broken up into visual art, artworks inspired, music, right? 19th century realism, impressionism, neo-impressionism, cubism, futurism, surrealism, post-war modernism, contemporary art. Like, it's, you know, are there any great anarchist artists in history? Yeah, there's a bunch. And let's not forget fucking some of the street art we've done over the years. And the contributions to music alone from the anarchist scene are ridiculous. So, yeah. Tech support Bakuna. No, that guy was full spectrum cancel worthy takes and counter revolutionary actions, but his ideas contribute towards something beautiful later. Kill your heroes. That's fair, Diamondback. That's a fair take with Kropotkin. And plus, once you contextualize Kropotkin with the fact that he was a Russian prince on top of all that with a high education, yeah, like it starts making sense there. Just saying. Yeah, I figured you once you asked about that, Carpe, like just go look it up because there's actually an interesting little story there behind it. What of the street art in the local city is done by anarchists? They generally organize with the city council to paint the areas. Yeah, our former mayor in Las Vegas suggested that anybody conducting, engaging in graffiti should have their thumbs chopped off. Yeah. That's a real fucking thing. Legal or otherwise. Yeah. Oscar Goodman, everyone. No, Beasticle, because you actually do this. Like, you actually, yeah, it's a lot of this. Like, a lot of fucking artists hold the can this way rather than this way. Some of them do it this way, but a lot of them do it this way, actually. Like, for, like, large spread and shit like that. Yeah. There's two different techniques for holding a can. There's this one that you're familiar with that you do instinctively, but there's also, like, a thumb grip. And it's a lot easier to maintain the pressure over time. And then there's tools that you can actually latch on, like 3D printed tools and shit like that. So, yeah, Oscar Goodman, everybody. Former mob attorney and longtime mayor of Las Vegas and spokesperson for a gin and a vodka. Yes. If you spray paint in our city, you should have your thumbs cut off. Actually, Beast, try the alternative grip and tell me how it works. Oh, redacted! I swear, you save points just for this redacted. Oh. Why not? Wait, hang on. What was that about? Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here for Proudly Radical. Since I owe Kai a few favors from back in the old days. Shit, I probably shouldn't talk about that. Wait, why are you still recording? Fine. Just be sure to edit it out. Anyways, as I was saying, this is Alex Jones, and I just wanted to teach the proletariat a few things about anarchism. Anarchism isn't about chaos. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Anarchism is about the people. It's about solidarity and mutual aid. It's about removing unjust authority and hierarchies. We should all be anarchists. The world would be a better place. Now, I'm going to apologize again to all those parents whose lives I ruined because I'm such a douchebag. Jones, out. All right, Guy, this has got to make us even for that incident you helped me out with.
Alex Jones, everyone. Is there still a sky in my basement? Yeah, for two. So there's still a sky in my basement. It's fucking crazy. Really got to get that fixed, man. I just gave everybody that wall a text for bingo. A little bit. Oh. Wow. So I started the stream talking about Diamondback. The fact that you know Double Down, I respect you. We have Bad Movie Night. Come back tomorrow for the Friday night stream. Join the Discord server if you want, and we do Bad Movie Night. And we have done 2 filmography runs of Neil Breen. We've watched all of his works twice. We've been doing it for a while, so it wasn't like we just did it back to back sort of thing. I checked.
Isn't that week, Corrupt?
The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, we do Bad Movie Nights on Friday after we've been spent the week talking about fucking getting beat up by fucking homophobes and capitalists taking advantage of and all those sorts of things, right? We spend the week doing the here it is. Hey, where is it? After a week of that, yeah, we do Bad Movie Night on the Discord server, and we totally get, like, we all show up and just get fucked up. Occasionally people raw dog it and just do it sober, but for the most part, we all just show up and get fucked up. Whatever your thing of choice is, show up not sober. And we watch movies that are shit. I huge respect that you know Breen. He's one of the greats. I proposed the other day, like, what would happen if Neil Breen got actual acting talent? Like, imagine Daniel Day-Lewis written and directed by Neil Breen, right? Like, actual actors who are truly skilled. But the script is still Neil Breen. The director is still Neil Breen, right? Imagine Daniel Day-Lewis directed and written by Neil Breen. I want to know what that looks like. That would be insane. Oh, jeez, yeah. I'm not even gonna get into any of that. Oh, yeah. Duty calls. Aren't you the same one that... Yeah, fuck that guy. Do you think that Neil Breen would let anyone else be top billing? Daniel Day-Lewis can get Best Supporting Actor this time. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Diamond, I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what it looks like. Legitimately, I want to see what that looks like. I mean, I just sort of... Alright, Rumble. It'd be insane. Like, it would be... I have no idea what that would look like. It'd be great, though. It'd be great. I mean, Neil Breen film is always magnificent. Although I like his hipster territory, everyone. I like his earlier work better than his later work. Just went hipster check on fucking Neil Breen. Breen was better on vinyl. Breen was better on vinyl. Yeah, once he got that big ass green screen of his, shit got a little. It did give us the "Isn't that corrupt?" sequence. So, you know, and I mean, we can't forget the mass, like the suicides of the fucking like senator and as president of the bank, right? The Breen screen. Yes, exactly. Some of those later, like when he kills off the people he disapproves of type scenes, they are fucking brilliant. Breen to direct a fucking Marvel movie. Oh, that would be insane. That would be insane. That's why I'm now a nihilist. For those of you, I mean, here, like, let's, you know what? First off, let's move us just for the purposes of this.
Hacker ever had.
All right. This is Who is Breen? Neil Breen is a writer-director based out of Las Vegas. Hi, my name's Kai. I live in Las Vegas. Neil Breen is a writer, director, actor, caterer, makeup effects artist, and general Renaissance man who created a series of movies that are widely lauded as some of the best, worst movies ever created. Tommy Wiseau of The Room can't fucking lick the bottom of Neil Breen's shoes. All right? In the world of like connoisseur. Oh yeah, Carpe, he caters the films too. Neil Breen is a fucking maniac. He is a hacker, super spy, sex person, cybernetic alien Jesus. He is. He is also an architect. He is a trained architect. So much tuna. He has created, hey Astral, he has created some of the greatest films ever made. Yes, the tuna cans aren't props. The tuna can the gimmick with the tuna cans still kills me. I've seen it so many times and it still fucking kills me. Those tuna cans are what he fed the people with. But the man doesn't understand. The man has never even been introduced to the concept of subtlety. All right. He doesn't know the meaning of the word subtlety. He doesn't know the definition. He doesn't know the concept. He doesn't have the necessary information related to build the concept of subtlety. So if Neil Breen has a message, he's going to just hit you over the fucking head with it. Right. So Neil Breen does not approve of major corporations. He does not approve of a corrupt government. He does not approve of the banking system. All right. So he's post-subtle. We get Twisted Trio in 2022. Dude, I love that several of you know who the fuck Marine is. All right. So here is the ending to Fateful Findings. We're going to watch it. It takes a few minutes. Let's set aside 5 minutes, right? Neil Breen, if he doesn't approve of you in a movie, well, he has ways of dealing with you. So let's just take a moment.
I want to be honest with all of you.
Oh, let's get this volume up a little more so it's at...
I want to be honest with all of you. I've been hacking into government and corporate systems all over the country. All over the world. I have discovered more information than any hacker ever has. Ever. What I have found will shock you. Here are the files and supporting documents. And supporting truths. The factual documents. I'm releasing these files to the public today.
Money, payoffs, and greed were always the priority of my company. Like many companies. I'm afraid of going to prison. They now know my crimes.
Trigger warning.
I am resigning today as your senator. The people who elected me deserve someone who cares about them and the country. Many of my other fellow incompetent senators must resign now also.
My releasing these files today will not endanger any innocent persons, but they will identify governments and corporations that have committed fraudulent and criminal activities against mankind. These people must be punished and eliminated immediately.
I resign today as president of the bank.
One of my favorite lines of all time by Neil Breen. I resign today as president of the bank.
I resign today as president of the bank.
For their lying, their greed, their injustices.
We were all under pressure to operate in a deceiving way and cheat the customer. Goodbye.
Today, I am submitting my resignation as Congresswoman.
I and other insurance companies are about to be indicted for crimes we've committed.
The people
Diamondback
deserve much better. Our crimes are about to be disclosed.
Lying, cheating of our customers, fraud.
Fastest acting pills in history, everyone.
Me and many of my fellow Wall Street brokers have been lying, cheating, and scamming investors out of their money.
We cannot continue to let them slip through our failed justice systems.
I'm leaving now, rather than going to prison for the rest of my life.
These files will prove to all of you, the political and corporate dishonesty that exists. They're systems that are there to undermine society's best interests for the purpose of greed and fraud.
Well, Astral, let him come for me because I've screened this on Twitch before as well.
You will be shocked and amazed at what I have here. It will scare you. But you should be scared because it is the truth. You now have all the truths. The real truth. Act now. On your own. Outside of the corporate systems and these incompetent politicians. Act now. It's our only hope for the future.
Neobrain, everyone. Neobrain. Remember at the beginning before I started that, and I said how Neobrain doesn't even have the foundational concepts necessary to build the concept of subtlety? Neobrain. Right? That's Neobrain for you. Corporations are corrupt. The politicians are corrupt. The banking system is corrupt. The judicial system is corrupt. So what's that look like? How do you resolve that on screen? In Neobrain's head, you have them all commit suicide. Just every last one of them. Just fucking on screen. As president of the bank, I hereby resign. That's Neobrain. His style of filmmaking is absolutely insane. And he... So what do you think he meant by that? Exactly, Amorous. Subtlety, right? Fucking symbolism, as we like to do during the screenings. Yeah, I like my subtlety like I like my framing hammer, 24 ounces with a waffle head. Neobrain. He's fucking amazing. He's fucking amazing. And yeah, we've screened his films like twice. We've done a complete Neobrain filmography twice for Bad Movie Night. So, like, yeah. We'll be doing Bad Movie Night tomorrow as well. We do it every Friday after the show on the Discord server. And we get together and a whole bunch of us jump into voice chat and we watch really, really bad movies. We've done Christian propaganda. We've done anti-drug propaganda. We've done like apocalypse films, fucking exploitation films, blaxploitation, jungle exploitation. We've done whole hosts of films at this point. Appropriately subtle for the American audience. I like it. We did both God's Not Dead 1 and 2. I haven't gotten around to 3 yet. But God's Not Dead, it's amazing Christian propaganda. And they made like $68 million. I'm just saying, if anybody wants a grift. Golden age of Hollywood films. Hollywood wishes they had Neobrain. Neobrain doesn't sell out either. He's been offered cash. Like the Red Letter guys fucking offered him a pile of cash, no strings attached, and he straight up turned it down. At one point, he sold his fucking house so he could finance one of the films. Neobrain is a true artist. Neobrain has literally turned down piles of cash because he doesn't want other people involved in his vision. All right? He's legit. You want to make a Kung Fury type movie in the style of Mega Code and Left Behind, but parody. Yes, sourcing, yes. And because Neobrain is such a fucking bad... By the way, he plays the protagonist and the hero in all of his films, but rarely is he actually a good guy, right? In the first one, he's an international biological terrorist holding the governments of the world hostage to his whim. He's the good guy, right? In one, he is a sort of transcendent cybernetic alien Jesus figure who just comes to Earth and purges 300 million people. He's the good guy, right? Like, Neil's brain is amazing, right? He is legitimately a narcissist, like legitimate. And seeing like kinda Carpe, like seeing the world through Neil's eyes is amazing. It is truly, if you just fucking let me run this shit and tell you what to do, you'd all have a utopia already. Just get out of my way and listen to Jesus Neil Breen. That's his position. And he doesn't have the subtlety necessary to like hide it under symbolism. He just comes back as Jesus and basically tells you if you'd fucking listen to me, you'd be fine. And otherwise, if you don't, you're dead. Yes, and then put the trailer he lived in after he fucking sold his house. He put the shitty trailer he lived in the film. Because Neil Breen, multitasking like a motherfucker. 2 questions. What's with the blank tank top tucked into jeans and the bad movies? And what's with the, like, casually driving and almost getting into an accident? I mean, you know. I don't know what it is, Diamond, but it is a thing. Aesthetic. Interesting, Kez. I'm still half tempted to get DDR2 tattoos on my forearms. Yes. Well, he helped a disabled man on chemo live his dream of finally getting to see the Las Vegas sign up close. Caboose, he also, like, regenerated that dude's body, got him out of the wheelchair, and basically like brainwashed some random hot chick walking by. I mean, she wasn't a random chick, she was part of the story, but like he basically brainwashed some random chick walking by into like falling in love with that dude instantaneously. I suppose was the implication. Like he helped her with fucking like, you dropped your toy and now they're like a couple. Right? Like for her kid. Like it was very odd. But yeah, he basically regenerated that dude's body and then hooked him up with somebody. Like on the spot. Neil Breen. Yeah, so he's not all that bad. Oh yeah. Aaron, we watched Birdemic. Yeah. Oh yeah. Aaron, if you're a connoisseur of bad movies, then the movie you need to watch is The Astrologer 1976 edition. Hey, the man. I'm okay. The stream title is Accurate, Mossy. Oh, God, the gang in that film is great. We've watched Troll 2. Oh, Rev, you were there. The Astrologer 1976 edition. Aaron, watch it. And go read the story behind the film. You'll appreciate it even more. It's batshit insane, man. The title is Accurate, Mossy. Errol Musk, the estranged father of Elon Musk, raised his stepdaughter from the age of 4, and then impregnated her 19 months ago. They now have a 10-month-old child. No, Kez, it's not a meme. It's a thing. Rock on, Aaron. I'm telling you, you'll enjoy the fuck out of it. It's batshit insane. You need to know the story behind it too. Like, go look up the story behind The Astrologer, but then watch it. It's... Yeah, I know, right, Rev? Yeah, he pulled a Woody Allen, if you know that reference. Little Mia Farrow action. We've done, at this point, we do 2 movies a week usually, and we've done 58 movies. We've done everything from like bad horror to Vanilla Ice's fucking like debut film as like a lead, as a star. We've done Christian Propaganda. We've done fucking like, you know, the sort of 6-string samurai territory. We've done Ricky O. We've done like drug propaganda, Reefer Madness sort of stuff. We've done Neil Breen, Miami Connection. Aaron, if you haven't seen Miami Connection, watch Miami Connection. You'll love it. Fucking yeah, we've done a fair like spread of just different types of bad movies at this point. We started a few months ago now doing Bad Movie Friday because we just I needed everybody to actually it was born of The Astrologer. Because The Astrologer wasn't available. Like this is part of the story about The Astrologer. It was locked behind licensing, and some big dick motherfucker at the studio basically smuggled it out and released it on the internet. And this movie is the stuff of legend, and it was finally like available on the internet. I was like, I'm watching this shit. Who wants to join me? Like, this is one of the most. Ricky O is. Look, Diamond. It's not a good movie. Yeah, the Astrologer is stuff of legend, and it's near impossible to see prior to a few months ago. And so I was like, dude, we're doing this. Like, this movie is literally like lore for bad movie aficionados. And when it was available, I'm like, we're doing Bad Movie Night. And so it became a thing. It's now a regular thing every Friday night after the stream. So if you want to join us, if you're into bad movies and you want to decompress after a week of just doom, stop by. It's a worthwhile time. Oh, God. You boys in your physics. I don't give a shit about the physics. What do we got? Oh, somebody got fucking USA Hole got fucking raided by somebody hard. Choke someone with their own guts. That invalidates anything bad anyone could say about it. Do you know about the decompression with bad movies? Okay, yeah. Diamond, do you know about the end scene in the kitchen where he throws the dude into the grinder? Do you know the trivia about that? He where he gets absolutely sprayed with artificial blood and shit like that. They had to stop filming for 3 days because they dyed him red. Later, Wither. Sleep well. Yeah, he literally, he came away from that scene dyed red because of all of the food coloring that they were using in the fake blood. I say fake blood because it was such crap. It wasn't even it doesn't even call it fake blood. It's just red liquid at that point. Interesting, correct. Yeah, it was rough. They had to stop filming for 3 fucking days because they dyed their lead character red. From that one scene. Fucking ridiculous film. And the man, my day was okay. Dealt with some crazy fucker earlier. You know, I'm not gonna get into that tonight, but. No, I haven't seen Peter Jackson's Bad Taste. You know, the man. There's just one thing on my mind well, there's 2 things on my mind at the moment, but yes. Actually, I'm thinking I may do. Yeah. Try to assume that most of what I know is subtly wrong. Not off the top of my head. It doesn't ring a bell, Kaz. Oh, it's a New Zealand zombie comedy. Oh, wait. No, I may have actually seen this. Yeah, it's got like alternate covers and shit. Yeah, I've seen this cover before. I've seen this fucking poster for it. So, like the 1991, right, Kaz? Not the 2007. Yeah. Okay. So the 1990. His current. God damn it! This fucking chat window won't let me. There we go. His current tanky watcher. I'm gonna have to take that discourse on nationalism as tanky cringe. It's a popular avenue for trying to recruit BIPOC folks. I mean, no. If it's Jackson, it's the 1991 Kes. It's not the 2007. You don't need to double check. I know that one off the top of my head. Yeah. Yeah, love you too, Tech. So, yeah, I think what we're gonna do. Oh, all right. Well, I appreciate that, Rumble. I appreciate dedication to the cause. I mean, my favorite movie of all time is Holy Mountain, and they blow up a whole bunch of lizards and fucking frogs. Straight up. Wait, hang on. No, it's not that. There was another movie recently that somebody showed me during Bad Movie Night that they blew up a sheep during it as well. Except they did it accidentally, not intentionally. Now I just need neo-feudalism to have a bingo. We talked about them earlier, actually. Tech support. Yes, Raphael. 4 Lions. It was 4 Lions. Yes, Raphael. That was the movie. Thank you, Kaz. Yep, Raphael with the fucking win on that one. Hodorowski is a legend. Yes, Hodorowski is a legend, and thank God for fucking Lenin funding that crazy shit. Yeah, dude, Holy Mountain is my favorite movie. It is. Like, I decided a few years ago, I'm like, you know what? I get the most pleasure out of showing Holy Mountain to other people. Like, the first time I saw Holy Mountain, I had heard about it by reputation, right? Like, it was like that. It was like, there's this fucking surrealist film from the 70s Spanish director. You have to fucking see it, right? I sit down with one of my closest friends, and I'm like, dude, there's this movie. Like, this is its reputation. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to get stupid stoned. Like, just stupid stoned. And we are going to watch this movie together. And it was one of the best times I've had. That movie, watching that, there's nothing better in this world to me, really, than like getting somebody really stoned and watching the Holy Mountain with them, because half of my enjoyment like comes from just looking at them at that point. Like, yeah, that just happened. Yeah, no, that just happened too. Yep, no, yeah, that was the thing we're doing now. You know, let's talk about it. You want to talk about it? It's crazy, huh? I love that movie. It was batshit insane, and I adore it. Brother showed me Holy Mountain when he was going through H withdrawals when I was 14. It was an odd experience. Yeah, sidechain, I'd imagine. 14's a little young to watch Holy Mountain. Like watching Caboose watch What the Bleep. Yes, something. It's in that territory. Yeah. We watched What the Bleep Do You Know a couple of weeks ago. We watched a sort of like conspiracy night. We watched What the Bleep Do You Know, and then we watched I forget which Alex Jones documentary. Oh, what did we watch? It was... I forget which one we watched at this point. I'm sure Rev may remember. Yeah, the Bilderberg one. Whichever one the Bilderberg one is, what? Entitled. Where he falls around the fucking Bilderberg meetings. So yeah, we watched What the Bleep Do You Know and fucking one of the AJ documentaries. Oh geez, Geist is a fun one. Yes, it is. It is. Holy Mountain will always be special to me. Kavas, of course, I can imagine your fucking brain in Holy Mountain. So I think, I actually think I'm going to call it an early stream tonight rather than go the distance. For a conspiracy schlop. Yeah. I mean, tech smart. I get you. I think I'm going to call it an early stream just because, like, I still have, like, food preparation to do and shit like that. And I don't, you know. Caboose, we'll watch it sometime. Endgame. It was Endgame. Yes, Rev. It was Endgame. I'm feeling like a raid over to Public or something like that. So you're radical living off the government checks, you dubba. This is a $400 microphone arm. Government checks, don't buy that. You want a dick measure in this regard? Bring it, Pookie. I can't listen to Jones. Instead, I listen to Knowledge Fight summaries. That was fun. And just FYI, if Sweaty Spaghetti is still here, if you're still here, Sweaty, radical, per Oxford English Dictionary definitional set number 2 means fundamental or systemic change, especially that within a political system. So, Pookie, bring it. But I think they probably already fucked off. People like that usually are cowards, and they don't stick around to have the conversation. I mean, technically the fucking Rockefellers were radicals as well, right? Like, they fundamentally shifted the foundations of our society. Dude, Rockefeller fucking transformed this nation and this world, right? That's radical as shit. Pretty sure that motherfucker wasn't that broke. Reagan was radical, yep. Right? Like, this is just a vast misunderstanding of this concept and term. But, you know, who's got time for fucking solutions, right? Good old Georgie. Well, we're gonna go say hi to Public. Public's good people. Leave the politics at the door. That's not what Public does. So, like, just skip that shit. Nuance is hard. I know, right, Carpe? Now, everyone, I'll be over on Carpe's fucking A, on Publix a bit. I'll stop by. I'll say hi, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm gonna go handle. Oh, the funny number, 69 viewers are ready to raid. Yeah, I'm gonna go make some chicken legs. I think I've got some sweet potatoes prepared, and I think it's chicken legs tonight. I'm gonna bake them and then fry them off for a finish. And that way I get plenty of calories and tons of fucking protein, because what am I at? 25. I'm at 50 grams of protein, and I need like 75 more grams of protein today to meet my macros. So, Nuclear, thanks for stopping by, Nuclear. There was some good conversation there as well, Nuclear. So, much respect. And again, if you're not a part of the Discord community, links down below. Hope to see you guys again. Catch you later.